What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Mina, and if you are not new here, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a video where I read a short story every day for a week because I have never really been the type to read short stories, and I don't really gravitate towards them because I like full-length books. The bigger the better, in my opinion. I don't ever really see myself gravitating towards short stories, and I think they can come in such an array and like a variety of different types of genres that I think it would be a disservice of me not to do this video where I read and step out of my comfort zone to read 5 different short stories. I am very, very excited. I have some really great ones picked out because I went into the internet, I did some research, and also this video was inspired by Leonie from A Book Leo because she made a video like this where she read short stories, and it really, really inspired me because I did not know that there are so many different short stories out there in the world that I haven't read but that so many other people absolutely adore. And I keep hearing this one story that everybody keeps talking about that I feel like I absolutely have to read because everybody else talks about it so much that I feel like I would be doing myself a disservice if I don't pick it up and see it for myself and understand what it's about. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. That's what we're going to be doing this week. I'm going to sit and read a short story a day and tell you how I feel about it. I think this will be the easiest week of reading I've ever had because we're obviously just reading 20-page stories, and I'm very excited. Very super stoked for this video that it's different and that I get to try something new. So I hope you enjoy. Let's get on with this video where I read the short stories. Let's go. The Six Deaths of Something by Alex E. Harrow, and I've never read anything by Alex E. Harrow before, but I know that she wrote Sterling House, something like that, 10,000 Doors of January or something like that. I'm very interested in reading their other writing. I just haven't never gotten to it, and plus it's not really the season for fantasy right now, and I feel like most of their stories are fantasy, and so for that reason I just haven't gotten to reading any of her works. 60% in, I want to say. It's only 21 pages, as you guys saw from the videos that I filmed. I'm on page 13 out of 21, so I'm almost done with it, and I'm really enjoying it. I have never read a story quite like this before, and it's really fascinating that the author can get their point across in such a short amount of pages. Like 21 pages is nothing, especially when it's a fantasy story. I feel like it's so like impressive that she's able to get her point across in such a short little like few pages. I think that speaks so much on the author as an author to be able to tell a story and build a world and get you attached to the characters in like less than 50 pages. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. As I said, I am 13 pages in, so I think I have like 8 pages left. Definitely recommend it, and I think this is gonna be one of the stories that I think about very often, and I'm glad that this is the one that I decided to start my week of reading short stories with, because I think it's a good introduction to short stories. So with that being said, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna finish it. As you guys saw, it's on my iPad, so I don't have a physical version of it, but I do have a physical version of every other short story that we're gonna be reading this week. So this is just the one that's different. I think the writing is beautiful, and I will tell you the rest of my opinions when I do the rating when I finish it, which it should be in like 10-15 minutes, honestly. weird. That was insane. Okay, I just finished The Six Deaths of the Saint. My God. Oh my God. I don't know. I cannot believe she made me feel this much in 20 pages. Less. I think without the cover page and the other works by the author page, and then the about the author at the end of the page, the other works by the author and then the about the author at the end, I think it was maybe 18, 19 pages. Insanity from the very beginning to the very end. I absolutely adored every single thing I read in that story. Unbelievably beautiful, the most beautiful writing, the most beautiful story. I cannot believe she made me feel this much in such a short amount of pages. I feel so attached to these characters. This is definitely a 5-star read. Definitely recommend it. I picked this up because I heard Carrie from Carrie Can Read talk about this over and over and over again, and I decided to pick it up, and I am so glad that I did because I adore it, and I'm going to be thinking about this story for a very long time. Full of details, and it's unbelievable that you can craft such a world and such three-dimensional characters in that little amount of time that you're with them. I don't know which story I'm going to pick up next, but I am 100% sure that I'm definitely not going to be feeling about it the way that I felt about this one. Please give it a try. It's 20 pages. You will be missing out if you haven't. So that is it for this day. See you tomorrow for the next short story. I started The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman, which I've never heard of before. If you look up the most popular short stories or the most famous short stories, this is one of the ones that pops up. I had no idea what this one was about. I had no idea anything about the author, anything about the story in general. I didn't know what I would expect from it, to be honest. And it is not this thick, obviously. It's a short story. So this one is 20 pages, and then the rest are cultural and I don't know, contexts, I guess. The short story started on page 41. I'm on page 53, and it ends on 59. So I have only a little bit left. I have 3 pages left. I'm gonna read those, and then I'll come back to you with my rating and what I think on it, and then we will talk about what I will be reading tomorrow. What? What does that even mean? Huh? I just finished The Yellow Wallpaper. I'm not sure what I just read, to be honest. I have no idea. I don't know what to think about this. I think I have to do some reading about it to see what, maybe I'll read the cultural and the, feminist and the social change parts of this book to understand fully what this story meant. I know that this is mostly a story about women who are suffering with like some sort of mental issues and like how they were seen in society and public back in the olden days, and like how people really didn't trust them. And basically the woman in this book was locked up for the entirety of or I guess the story, it's not a book, but basically the woman in this story is locked up the entire time. She's like locked up in this room. They like, her husband tells her when to sleep, when to wake up, what to eat, what not to eat, and she does not want to be in this room that's covered in yellow wallpaper. And her husband keeps telling her, no, we can't leave just yet. There's like, we gotta wait like these few days or these few weeks for the contract to be over so then they can do like the remodeling of the place. And by the end of the book, they have reached the time to do the remodeling, and I'm not really understanding what the ending was. So that's why I think I need to do some research to fully grasp the meaning of the ending, because I'm really confused. I don't understand what the meaning of it was. I don't know how to rate it. It's a short story, you know? Like, I can't really rate it as if I'm reading an entire book. The next toy that I will be reading tomorrow will be back on my iPad, and it will be The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe, which I read only one work of before, and I read it while I was in high school, and I enjoyed his writing. So, I mean, his writing is very moody. It feels very Halloween to me. I think Edgar Allan Poe, and I think depression and Halloween and darkness and moodiness and like creepiness and like just a vibe, you know? He's a vibe. I feel like it's gonna be a vibe. And I haven't had a vibe since the 6 Deaths of the Saint. So nobody will ever top her, I fear, unfortunately.
Damn. The guilt ate that man alive. What the hell? That was interesting.
I just finished The Telltale Heart, which was like 4 pages of that on my iPad, and I really liked it. I really liked it. It has like a very Edgar Allan Poe type of feel to it. Like when you read it, you can tell the vibes. There's like a word that I'm looking for that I can't like think, like, oh, there's a specific word that I can't think of. But when you read Edgar Allan Poe, those vibes are immediately felt, for the lack of a better word. It is so him. The story is so him. The character is so him. From the one reading that I did of him in high school years and years ago. Yeah, I really liked it. It's definitely different. I don't think it's my favorite short story that I've read so far this week. It's definitely not one of the top 3, I don't think, not yet at least. I don't know how I'm gonna rate it. I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars because it was good. I really liked the way it ended, but also I could have gone without reading it and I wouldn't have missed out on anything. So with that being said, we are gonna move on into tomorrow's story, which will be The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. This is a small book that has the lottery and the other stories, as the title says. I don't know anything about the lottery. All I know is that a lot of people say that it messes them up and it's really a big deal in the short story universe. A lot of people love the short story The Lottery. A lot of people think that it messed them up. A lot of people get disturbed by it from what I know. 17 pages. So not one of the longest stories, not one of the shortest stories. This is what it looks like. I love how tiny this book is. Literally, it's the size of my hand. It's a pocket book, literally. I'm very excited for this. This and the last one that I'm going to be reading are the ones that I was the most excited for, and also The 6 Deaths of the Saints, but that one was the first one that I read, and obviously I loved it. So yeah, this is the one we're going to be picking up tomorrow. Very excited. Love how small it is, and I'm just so looking forward to knowing what the story is about. absolutely messed up. So messed up. I don't know what I was thinking when I first picked this book up, but it's definitely not what happened in this book. This story, my God, is it twisted. It's so twisted because you are like, it's so messed up. It's so messed up. It's so messed up. It's pretty much up there. I think I'm gonna give it four stars, 4.25 stars, because I did not see that end coming. I did not see any of it coming. I had no idea what it was about. Obviously, the name should have given me, a hint, a sign, and also the cover now makes so much sense. So much sense. Are you kidding me? Makes so much sense. I cannot believe I have been living for 27 years without ever picking this book up or knowing what this story is about. But I am so glad that now I know. I have been missing out. My God, how dare you flip my whole world upside down in like 20 small pages, 18 small pages. It don't make sense. I am mind boggled, amazed, like so out of my mind with just shock and amazement at how talented somebody could be and how they could craft such an impactful story in such like a small amount of pages. That leads us to tomorrow's read, which is the last read of this week, and it's the one that I'm the most excited for. I did say in the intro that I have been hearing a lot about this specific story that everybody seems to be talking about except for me, and I keep hearing about it from different kinds of people, so I felt like this was the time for me to pick it up. This book is called Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado. The story that I'm going to be reading in here is called The Husband Stitch, and apparently it's about how when a woman gives birth, the husband usually asks for the surgeon or like the doctor to stitch her up a little extra after giving birth. It makes intimacy a little bit more pleasurable for the man, and so the story is called The Husband Stitch because of that. So I'm very, very interested. I've left this one for the end. Save the best for last. Let's, finally, I can understand what people are talking about when they talk about The Husband Stitch. Wow. As you guys saw, I just finished reading The Husband Stitch. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. Chills. Goosebumps. I want to scream. I want to cry. I feel so heavy. It's so much more than I thought it would be, and so much more than what everybody is saying about it. I'm so mind blown. If you are looking for like a feminist short story, I think this one has so much for everybody. I think everybody should read it. I think it's so important for it to go out there. There's so much depth in it for it being 30 pages. This is the longest short story I read in this video. I'm so glad for that. I'm definitely going to finish this entire book because I need to read more of this writing. This is so important. It is so important. If you are going to read any of these stories that I read this week, I definitely think you should read The Husband Stitch because it is so beautiful, and so if you're a woman, I think it would help you feel seen, and if you are a man, I feel like it would help you understand women in a way that I don't think anybody has ever written a woman before. And I feel like if you're non-binary, you can also find some value in something in here. My God, is it incredible. Please, 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 if you can pick this book up, if you can support this author, if you can support the story, then I definitely recommend, please, by any means, if you can find a way to read the story, I definitely recommend it. I think it's so important for everybody to read it because there's so much in it. Let's talk about it, shall we? I feel like as a community of readers, we don't read enough short stories. I feel like we really should make an effort. At least I don't, like you might. So not to speak on anybody else, but for me, I don't read enough short stories to be able to broaden my horizons. And I feel like this video has been very, very good for me to broaden my horizons for the lack of a better word, and to step out of my comfort zone and try different books. I haven't read anything by Edgar Allan Poe since high school, and that was a very long while ago, and in high school I did used to read a lot of short stories. I even believe I read like a book of short stories in Arabic at some point in my life when I was younger, and I used to adore short stories, and then getting into the like full-fledged books kind of distracted me from reading short stories. But I really want to make an effort to get into reading a lot more short stories because I feel like they are so beautiful and there's so many of them, and you can read them in such a short period of time that it's a win-win-win situation. So this video has definitely taught me that I need to really make an effort to find more time to read short stories and find ones that I absolutely adore. I think my favorite out of this video probably had to be The Six Deaths of the Saint and The Husband Stitch, and maybe The Lottery. I really had the best time reading those ones, but specifically The Six Deaths of the Saint, I will be thinking about that one for a very long while. I definitely recommend it. I'm sure you can find probably all of these short stories somewhere on the internet because usually they get published for free for people to read, so I definitely recommend doing that. That is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you maybe got inspired to try some short stories and try any of the ones that I read. I think you would definitely be missing out if you didn't. So yeah, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. That means the world to me. I hope you have the very best day. Treat yourself to something nice, and I'll see you guys again next week with another video. Goodbye.